everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome to a new Dominions series. This is Bozmos2, where we are playing Chaco. And as you can see on this screen, if you haven't already watched the Pretender design or discussion video that I'm sure is ahead of this, this is a massive multiplayer game. This is, I believe the final total ended up being 72 or 74 players. I'm not quite sure. There's kind of a little mix, a little interim of maybe a couple players have submitted and aren't actually going to take their turns. We might have some AIs roll pretty shortly. To my understanding, that is kind of what happened with the first Bozmos, Bozmos2. Yeah, so let's just jump in and get an understanding of what is going on here and what we have gotten ourselves into. Okay. It's the beginning. In the beginning there was chaos, now the wheel has turned once more. We do have 3 notifications of cheating. This is, as far as everyone knows so far, this is just issues with the mod. The applications for this game and the prepping that went into this game, there was a lot of different steps. So some people submitted pretenders and then the mod got changed, and then more pretenders got submitted and then the mods got changed slightly again. So it's what we have come to find is that this just happened to be these individuals that didn't have the latest updated mod when they submitted their pretenders. So nothing too big or crazy or anything like that. Like, as far as anyone is aware, as far as I know, none of these are like 10-path pretenders just waiting to pop out and wreck everyone, you know? So, that being said, let's jump into the game. And here it is. This is... this is Bozmos2. The map, I don't remember what the map is called. Do I have it pinned in the server? We've got, yeah, I guess the map is just called Bozmos, but it is a hodgepodge of famous Dominions maps and other worlds. Like, I don't know how to pronounce this, but Gielinor is RuneScape, right? This is the RuneScape world. Archaea is basically just Earth, like fantasy Earth, right? See Europe and Africa, weird Asia, the Arabian Peninsula, South America down over here, right? And then you got a bunch of little, like, cool things all over the place. Hopefully, Lucid R, right? There's also Warpman's Water World over here. So this is a crazy map. Probably the craziest map that I have ever played a multiplayer game on. So each of these worlds, there are these immense connectors, right? These, like, galaxy beings that connect different locations. There's also different, you know, like, little moons or satellites or things like that that connect all across the realms, right? So super duper interesting. But that is a massive macro level. We have started in the Gielinor map over here. I don't know if this is Vandarin or something like that. I can't. The name is overlaid by mountains, so I'm unsure, but we are here in 433 Chaco. So this is going to be a relatively short turn. You know how it is with first turn. So we're kind of just gonna chat about a whole bunch of different things, the general concept, look at the lay of the land. Actually, very interesting. I did a test run on this map just to see if there was anything weird or super crazy that I should be anticipating. And it actually threw me right here in 644 when I tested. So there's over 1,400 provinces in this map, and I actually ended up very close to where I tested, so that's pretty cool. Things of note in the area that are really interesting, right, are these little ship provinces, right? So these are like port towns, and they connect most of them, not all of them, connect all over the place. Most of them connect to all of their actual adjacent provinces, but also to all of the other ports, right? So this one in Zaburia connects down to whatever this is, Uglog, I assume, Brimhaven over here, into this one as well. There are, and I think this is just an oversight. I don't think this is meant to be this way. I think it's an accident. But there are a scant handful of connections that are missing. So, for example, you can see here in Zaburia, it does not connect over to this one in 576, right? But also the big outliers that I've seen are this one in 467. It only connects to this one in Brimhaven, right? And this one over in 387 also only connects to the Zaburia and to the one to the north. So I think this is actually a mistake. I think all of these ship provinces are supposed to connect to each other. But this is a massive map. It's gone through, I'm assuming, dozens of revisions at this point in time. There are so many things to fix here or there, and they've made a massive amount of progress. I say they, the map creator and the host of one of the main mods that we're playing with, Bozmod. Boz has been doing a crazy amount of work. Much props. I think Lucid has also been doing. He's done a couple of like editing streams, assisting with the map, etc., etc. There's still work to be done. And I'm sure that will come out during play. We'll find little things here or there that are wonky or weird, but it is what it is. It's okay. So where are we? We are right in the middle of this western continent, which is kind of interesting. It looks like we have some nice open territory. Unfortunately, it also means that we don't have we don't have a cushy corner spot or something like that, as much as you can have a corner spot in a game like this. There's a lot of water right on this map, which means we probably have, the majority of the water nations are going to be on Azalun, Gielinor, and Archaea, because there's very little water in Valinus, even less in God's Glory. I'm assuming there's maybe like one water nation in God's Glory, maybe one in Valinus. And then there's probably like 3 or so per of these big, maybe more, I don't know. They took away a lot of the water provinces between this game and the previous game to kind of reduce how much power the underwater nations had. So I think that is a good thing. We'll see how it actually turns out, though. Around us, so we have... What's that? We have 7 connecting provinces. Unfortunately for us, 2 of these connections are across rivers, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Kingdom of Dara and Assad are both across rivers from us. And then we have 2 bridges going to Finica and Akesta. And then we have this mountain province at Scraw Point, which is a regular name. That's funny. And then we have Kevin and Zox, which is also another regular name. So this Zox is a farmland. So is Kevin. So is Kingdom of Dara. So is Finica. So is Aketsa. Assad. So that's really interesting. We've got a lot of farmlands around us. That's really pretty cool. I don't know if there's a signifier, a way to determine, this is a large province versus not, right? Because it's a custom map, it doesn't have all of the, normal stuff that you might. Wow, there's a connection. Mountains over here. So that is something that we have to worry about a lot, by the way, is there's crazy little connections all over the place, right? Just 2 provinces from our capital in Zaburia, we have connections to the rest of this planet. That is both really cool, really good, but also really potentially bad. So we have to be very cognizant of the connections, and it's almost impossible to be cognizant of all of the connections. So at any given time, you can be very, 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 very close to danger in this game. That's something that we're going to have to keep in mind. So we have complications getting across this river. What is our general game plan? So we have an awake expander here, Yona, the Great Bear. So basically, Bear, the Great Bear. We got the ever-burning one, Fecund Breedable, Lord of the Wild Cows. So that's pretty cool. Lord of the Wild Cows. We have an awake expander. I have tested expanding with this chassis and this build a lot. I have only died once in expansion. And the time that I died was charging I think it was a level 3 throne. And the level 3 throne had several casters in it that all summoned a very large amount of water elementals, fire elementals, and earth elementals. That is the only time I have died attacking into my dominion in an expansion scenario. Like, I've had bumps with the AI and ended up losing the bear. So we do have to worry about that depending on our expansion patterns. But generally speaking, we should be good expanding as long as we remain in our dominion, at least for the first couple turns. And that's why we have the bear. Is because this thing should be able to beast mode the vast majority of things that we go up against. It has a crazy amount of HP with regeneration, fear, temper flesh, basically, and very specifically Berserker 7. So Berserker 7 pushes the protection up to 30. It should be up to 32, but I always see it as 31. Maybe something's up with that. I don't know. And then it actually pushes our attack skill very, very high, which is super useful for the build that we're going as well. So that's really cool. And then the other thing is the bear is disease resistant with recuperation, but also has additional affliction resistance. Some of the times you can run into issues with these awake expanders, even though they have recuperation, they'll still take wounds, and then getting wounds causes them to take more wounds, and then it's kind of a slippery slope from there. So anyways, we're going to expand into Scraw Point because it is the only location that we have Dominion in. Actually, very terrifyingly, and this is strange to me because this has not happened once during any of my test games, but we only have one candle here. And we only have one candle here. I don't know why our Dominion is so low. We have like 5 Dominion. So I'm not really sure. Why do I only have 3 Dominion? No. Okay. I was like, whoo. Yeah, no. This province has 5 holy points to spend each month. Yeah, we have 5 Dominion here. It's I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the holy points, I'm like, oh shit, but we're recruiting, so. Yeah, I don't know why we only have 1 Dominion candle here. So this is kind of scary, I think it's relatively unlikely. We have a 100% success rate for Dominion spread chance. But, I mean, in theory, we could just lose next turn, Dom kill ourselves. But fingers crossed that doesn't happen. So we're sending Yona to Scraw Point. We are prophetizing our starting leader, who we have renamed to Stands with a Brick. This starting army is basically useless. We're gonna use it on like turn 3 or 4 when we get our first Katsina group together, just as like additional chaff to help that Katsina group on the first expansion. We don't even care about it afterwards. But we'll see how that goes. And then we have renamed Scout 1. I'm gonna continue doing my, I don't know. It's just it amuses me to keep count of all the things that we have. So Scout 1 is going to head actually up towards this area, towards this other sea province. You know what? I say that. I should probably just head down to Eketsa. I should get used to using these sailing provinces, basically. Let's head down to Ekesta, and then head to Zaburia, and then we're gonna take this up here. The goal is I kind of want to see if I wonder. There's a lot of player starts. I don't know how. So, for example, I know over here in Europe, there's like 4 players, so it's very like packed in, you know. But I don't know if it's gonna be like 4 players here, or 6 players here, or 8 players here, right? Or I don't know how thickly packed in we are right now. We kind of gotta be careful and find that out without getting ourselves screwed. I never understand why I can see certain names way further than I would expect, right? Like, why can I see Packwoods down here? Why can I see Polgrave down here? Mineral. Like, I understand these that are only like 2 away from me. I thought that's what it was supposed to be, right? We're in middle age, right? Oh, I guess Scraw Point. Ooh, weird. Or Polgrave is only 2 away from me because the jump to Assad and then the jump. Why does this skip this province? Why does it go? I guess maybe it's, you know, the concept that you can go upriver or something like that. That's weird. That's so weird. The concept that this is 2 away from my capital is very strange. So is this Toledo. Very weird. Skunia, Nidhi, High Peaks. Little bitty province over here. Oh, what the fuck? That goes... Ooh. Goes way the fuck over here. So, yeah. So, we're gonna have it's gonna be a nightmare trying to figure out where we're going and what connects to what, etc., etc. But first turns, easy turns. Yona goes to Scrawl Point. Stands with a brick, is going to prophetize. Scout 1, I think sending up to 573 is a bit optimistic. I bet someone's like in Hemminster or something like that. So let's head that way. Either Hemminster or up here and maybe like 541. You know? After all, this was where I started, was 644. But if we find out that there's no one in between us and 644, then that's a great amount of expansion that we can take. Like, even if we don't have good push down here or up in this direction, if we can expand this way, that would be amazing. Be super fantastic. We'll see how it goes. Okay, recruitment. We are recruiting a Monketsina. Partially, we are recruiting a Monketsina because we need the magic leadership. Alternatively, some of our mages can lead a few mages, or a few magic creatures, which our Ketsina warriors are. But the Monketsina is the cheapest one that we can get quickly. I say quickly, it's not actually very quickly. It's 2 turns, but it's cheaper than the enormously expensive 580 gold Wuyas, which I think is too much for these guys, considering what else is in the Dominion's enhanced mods. Anyways. Gonna make sure. So the other reason why we're taking Among Katsina is rather than just grabbing something like a Pavosqua or a Chacoan Star Priest, is these guys can defend themselves. They're not going to die easily, so there's less of a chance of them just getting sniped and us losing a whole group of Katsina. Not impossible, mind you, but there's less of a chance. So we are able to afford one Hmong Katsina, which is 260 gold, and a single Katsina warrior, which is 90 gold. These guys are very expensive. We have 50 gold remaining. We're just going to hold on to it. We only have a 255 income because of our scales, our trash scales. So next turn, we should be able to afford, with the gold that we have plus the income that we have, we should be able to afford 3 of our Katsina warriors. We might be able to, because this will be 305 minus 13. We're going to get a little bit of income from Scraw Point, and you might notice we're actually missing some nature gems. That's because we are sending 2 nature gems to Marverny. Marverny sent out a call on the first turn saying, hey, I will pay 30 gold per nature gem. So we're going to take them up on that offer. 30 gold per nature gem is A-okay with us. We just got to cross our fingers and hope Marverny's not nearby, because that'll suck. The goal is that we want to, if we're getting 60 additional gold, we'll have 305 minus 13. It's going to be minus a little bit more than that, but it's also going to be plus 50-ish. Yeah, we might be able to afford 4 Katsina warriors next turn, and that would mean that the following turn we can send out Among Katsina with 5 Katsina warriors, and that will be pretty good. That'll be a nice thing that we can accomplish. That'll be cool. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else really to talk about. We don't have any research, so we'll leave that for another day. There are no mercenaries. There's no additional recruitment that we can do. And we're gonna be exploring this map together. Damn, that goes all the way over here. Why does that go all the way over here? That's so strange. This mountain is connected to this lighthouse? What? Like, I think some of the connections I think are weird. Like, I like connections like this, right? Like, this is connected to all of the other places around it, but it's also like, the portal or the, you know, underdark connection to whatever the fuck this is. And this is connected to a whole bunch of different things. That I think is cool. I think these ports being connected all over the place, I think that's really cool. But I'm less enthusiastic about random provinces like this being connected to outer space, like the mountains are connected to this outer space scenario, or this mountain is connected to half the world away. Maybe there's a cannon or a, you know, launch pad up there. Alright, I think that's enough of me just exploring around and being bitchy about stuff. So that's going to be it for the turn. Very excited about this game. I have no expectations about it. This could be a very short game for us. We could get knocked out in the first 20 turns. I'm not confident about the build that we have. I'm not confident about Chaco as an H-Shin. I think they're actually really weak. I would have rather played someone else. But by the time I got to the recruitment, most of the cool stuff was taken. I say cool stuff. I still think Chaco is cool. I think they have a very neat mechanic. I just think it's kind of overvalued, and they've got less love given to them compared to a lot of other EE nations, and definitely compared to the Bozmod nations. those nations are really cool, if somewhat overpowered. But we'll see. Anyways, that's going to be it for the turns. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody. I love that there's a confirmation. Now we're good.